guys, so the live has started. We have not tapped in yet, but we're gonna wait until he does our introduction, and then he's gonna key us in when we do our request. And this bonus of the podcast is gonna be pretty dope. It's probably gonna be a repeat of some things, just like a quick overcast of some things we've already discussed with you guys. But we're just doing it live with a new setting, expanding. So yeah. Listen in and enjoy.
God is faithful. Come on in here tonight. Grab your significant other, and we're going to go ahead and get started on tonight. Tonight, we have a special treat for you. This is for all couples. Tonight, if you're dating or engaged or what have you, this is for you. If you're in need of your relationship needs maintenance, or whatever the issue is, I'm going to literally try to work through some things. We have a special guest on tonight. And they're going to share a bit of their testimony. We're going to go ahead and get started. Guys, if you send me that request, we'll get started. Okay. Blessings to you. We'll get started tonight. We got a special guest tonight. We're going to try to work through some things they have gone through. Some issues and some challenges.
Did it go through?
Have gone through. So I'm going to bring them in, okay?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to bring them in. And hold on 1 second while I bring them in. Started. Right. There they go.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Good. Guys, I want you to meet LaRon and Delisa. They are our first couple tonight. Everybody just say hello to LaRon and Delisa.
You can just call me Lisa for short.
Okay. All right.
She.
My wife's name is Elisa.
That's his sister's name.
Yeah, my sister named Elisa, but this Lisa is better than my Lisa.
Come on. Idle your hands. All right. So, again, hello to LaRon and Lisa. They are engaged.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Engaged. And they've been engaged for over, how long, guys? How long?
A year and a month?
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
A year and a month.
Yeah.
All right. They've been engaged for a year and a month. By the way, y'all need to share this with other couples that it'll be a blessing for who wants to tune in. So share that with them. All right. So LaRon and Lisa. Now let me start with this, because you guys have been engaged for a year and a month, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And both of you were previously married. And I think it's imperative tonight that we talk about this, and that is that you guys had mentioned that you were previously married, but you found yourself wrapped up so much in who you were married to before that you lost who you were.
Yes.
Explain that a little bit to us tonight.
Ladies first? Or?
Ladies first. Okay. So, I'm Lisa. I was married for 8 years. My previous ex was several years older than I. About a 18 to 20 year difference.
Wow.
Right. And so, background on me. I am the only girl of 3 kids. I have 2 younger brothers. And so my dad turned his life over to Christ and became part of pastoralship when I was about 12 or 13. So prior to that, I had a good relationship with what marriage was, what marriage should be. And so when I got with my current ex, I spent so much time trying to be a perfect marriage that I didn't really follow who I was as a person. I spent a lot of time trying to do things to please him or make him happy instead of things that were making me happy or being true to who I was in the relationship. So that went on for a long time.
Okay. Kind of losing yourself in the process, trying to please them. Okay.
Right.
LeRon?
Mine's it was a little more scarier. I myself am from a family of 3. I have a brother and a sister, and like I was saying a little bit earlier, where mine stemmed from, seeing my mom. I'm very close to my mom, and seeing my mom go through wanting my dad to be this particular person. So somehow, some way, that automatically resonated with me, and so I'm like 13 years old trying to marry people, and but my actual marriage, there was a moment where you can sense when something is awry, and due to the fact that you don't have that evidence, so you don't react to it, you don't leave, and that's what a lot of my situation was at first, and until she just blatantly came out and said that, hey, I don't want you anymore, pretty much. And again, being married, looking at my parents, even though they was going through what they was going through, thinking about society and how they voice, once you're married, you're supposed to stay in, the Bible says, you never leave type thing. And I've always embodied, once I got married, I was in, no getting out. But long story short, I ended up being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis during a time that I was trying to exit. And my biggest mistake was exiting because she gave me an exit door. She ended up going through some issues with her boyfriend at the time. So I decided to take her along with me, moving to Atlanta at the time, and thinking that we were going to completely separate. But I got bad with sick, not being able to walk and whatnot. And I ended up losing myself in the relationship, even going into counseling. And the counselor asked that very question. Mr. Williams, do you think that you're just basically putting your life on the line and just putting your life on hold for her? And my answer for that was no, because I thought marriage was, if someone has that opportunity to fulfill their dream and become great, after a while, the other partner has that opportunity to fulfill what they're doing. It was never like that. Never like that.
Let me say this to those who are listening and just hearing what you guys have shared about losing yourself and trying to please other people. And I think it's okay to be in love and to be excited to be with somebody, or to share mutual interests and to have a plan in the future together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great danger, as you both know, in losing yourself in the other person. I'm a real big advocate on not finding your happiness in another individual.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
It is extremely important that if you're not happy or joyful, or whole, I would say.
I was just finna say that. Yeah. We talk about that a lot.
We had a podcast about that as well. Like, he's an individual. I'm an individual. I have to be happy for me first before I can make somebody else happy, and vice versa. Just coming together as two whole people for a common good, instead of me saying, "Oh, I'm not happy unless I'm with him."
There are those that break up every single day because we've wrapped our happiness in the person that we were with, and that's how depression starts and suicidal thoughts. I can't think of anything as worse as going through a bad breakup when you had all of your hope and trust in the person that you were with.
It gets snatched away and taken from you.
Yeah, that takes a piece of you, and then you begin to realize, I was in too deep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I loved it, but I had too much. If we're not careful, we can kind of sort of make people that we're with our gods, idols.
Yes.
And we'll put everything in them, and then when it breaks off, we're like, man, I got to get myself back.
You want to know the biggest thing that I did was, and I just did something last night about believing a lie. I knew it was a lie. I knew it was a lie, but I forced myself to believe it in order to verify and just say that it's okay for me to just deem myself unworthy, pretty much. And yeah, cause it's when like going back to me saying about, hey, I could have come to her and like, I got this idea. There's something that I'm wanting to do, and I'm just wanting your I'm guessing like approval or assistance in a sense. Being in a partnership. It always got knocked down with, there's this thing that I want to do, and I think if I do this first, it'll put us in a position to where we can do this and we can do that. And it sounded good on paper. Like a basketball team. It sounds good on paper until you go out and see them play.
Right. Absolutely. Let me say this. Scripture says that charm is deceptive, beauty is fleeting, but those, a woman particularly who fears the Lord is to be praised. I think it's important to say here that we realize the older we get, that the outer accoutrements, how you look, style, means it's a good thing, but it actually means less and less as you get older because you start looking for more substance.
Yeah.
There are a whole lot of cute people that look good together.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But they both have no substance.
Yes.
No future.
Yes.
No vision. No plan. Let me tell some of the couples that are listening. You cannot just be dating each other or engaged or planning to get married because you think you look cute. because being cute will not pay the bills.
No, it will not.
It does not.
It will not. No.
And it's funny because I really don't even like him. He's not even my type. Cute is like tall, dark, and handsome for me. With a pretty white smile.
Yeah, that's.
Look how he worked that out for y'all.
Yeah, that's actually the joke in our relationship. I really am not her type. Like
compared to previous.
Yeah, so
but and I learned, hey, if what on the outside isn't always what's more important, it was like the inside that really made the difference. And
let me say this: when we say not her type, we're of course saying physically. I'm used to this complexion.
I thought I knew what I wanted because I wasn't sure of who I was.
Right. And so with that, you guys seem like you have an extremely strong spiritual connection.
Yeah, yes.
You sound like everything else is lined up. And that's what really matters at the end of the day is, as you guys are engaged, you've had to have these type of questions asked. Can I live with this person? Can I spend the rest of my life with this person?
Yeah.
Can I have kids with this person? Will this person be here for me if I get sick or I'm in the hospital? That substance, that is the type of stuff that lasts. And so it's important that you guys have shared with us tonight that not to put everything you have into a particular individual, but to yet know who you are and to know what God's promised you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So listen, let's go here. You mentioned to me offline, guys, that growing up, you felt kind of pressured to model after your parents, to have a relationship after them. And there may be somebody listening tonight whose parents are married, or you saw how they interacted growing up, and you may feel pressured to be the same type of way. Tell me a little bit about that. How you guys felt pressured to have relationships like your parents did?
And like stated offline, my biggest thing was me and my mom somehow got this connection. And I don't know when it happened or how, but I just know we had got this connection to where I can feel stuff that how she feels and whatnot. And so going through, and she never just really sat down and neither explained to me what a relationship is. They never demonstrated what a relationship was and is, because it was turmoil. And I spoke to her today about, she really didn't know that I was depressed until at one point where I got into a fight at school, and the principal knew me and just so happened to tell my mom, hey, in order for him to stay in school, he needs to go see a counselor. And it wasn't until then I found out that a lot of my animosity and anger that I had stored inside me was directed to my dad.
Wow.
And that yeah, it all stemmed from how he didn't or did treat my mom. And my mom subconsciously spoke to me on how to treat a woman. And that was like the weirdest thing. And because for me, I open the door. I'm always opening the door. I'm very complimentary. And we hear a lot of folks commend me on the fact that I opened the door for her. I was never taught that. Only thing that my mom really told me, never to hit a woman. Outside of that, is I just came up with it. But long story short, seeing my dad not be the man that my mom wanted, I thought I had established that connection in my head. And once I started dating, that's what I sought out. I started having kids early. And I'm the man that throw myself up under the bus. I ruined my kids at an early age because I didn't know.
You didn't know.
I didn't know. I didn't have, and my mom, to this day, she apologized about not being a great parent. And I have to constantly tell her that, that's something that you shouldn't have to apologize for, because your parents were not the parents that you needed in order for you to raise kids. And so, yeah, my marriage had become...
You were so busy trying to be the man your mom needed to somebody who wasn't paying you no attention.
Yeah, they didn't want the man that my mom needed, basically. And they were on something totally different. And, disclaimer, not saying that she's a bad person. She just has some stuff that she had to go through and need to go through, just like I. And I had to learn how to say no. That was the biggest thing that I learned. Outside of other things that I learned, the biggest thing was for me to finally say, I'm not going to allow myself to subject myself to this pain, knowing that I really don't have to. And I was able to walk away after I sat down. Really, a counselor had to hit me upside the head a couple of times too, on top of God. Just basically expressing, she loves taking my money, but you got two options. You either stop complaining or you leave.
Right. Let me slide in here before we get to Delisa. I think most of us a large majority of us have made bad relationship choices in the past because of what we've seen model growing up. We model what we see.
Yeah.
This is why it is extremely important. Even you guys that are breaking, I believe, generational curses even tonight, that you will do differently. You do different things differently than what you saw your father do. And let me say this, you don't have to, those who are listening, you don't have to be exactly like your parents. So I want to relieve you from that pressure.
Yeah.
To feel like I have to talk like them, act like them, I have to be married as long as they did.
Yeah.
Don't compare, don't compete, don't try to do that, because that's going to mess you up. I had to realize myself that I am not my father, and me and my wife's marriage is not my mother and father's marriage.
Yep.
Our marriage is completely different. I've seen things good and some negative, but I'm mature enough to know what the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because God is leading me. And so, yeah. Delisa, you want to share yours?
Yes, so definitely I would say I got lost in my marriage and stayed in my marriage much longer than I needed to, because I wanted to be like my parents in so many ways and have a long-standing marriage. I wanted my first marriage to be my only marriage, and because my mom and dad are like best friends. They've been together for 34 years, and I can honestly say I've seen both sides. I've seen the secular side of my parents' life before they became Christians and accepted Christ and started a better walk, and then I've seen the side on the other side. So I've seen both good and bad. So I was like, maybe I could be a good person, and I can balance well enough to be able to have what my parents had in a good light, but it takes the other party being just as well involved. And I feel like I still stepped back away from who I truly was as a person, who I was raised to be, and I spent a lot of time trying to make my significant other happy, because I thought I need to stay in this for the long run. I need to be in it for the long haul, because this is what I've been taught, this is what I've seen. But I also realized, hey, I'm being mistreated. I'm not being taken as I am as a person, for who I am. I know I'm a strong individual. I know where my roots are. I know what I was taught as a child. And I lost who I was in that marriage by giving myself to that person and doing things that they wanted to do and stepping away from things that I knew were right and happy and whole for me, And still, my parents are great examples of, what a relationship should be. They've been through good, bad, ugly. Probably some people feel like they shouldn't be together, but that's their opinion, and they still make sure that they stay together as a couple, and they make things work with them, because at the end of the day, it's that 3-strand cord, him, her, and the Lord, no matter what nobody else says.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And so with that, you guys broke the pressure of trying to be like what you see growing up, and made a decision to do something differently. And that's extremely important, because a lot of us come from, well, I'm kind of stepping on toes here, but I would even venture to say that a lot of us we have dealt with separation and divorce in our families.
Oh, yeah.
And so as God does what he does with your relationship and with your marriage soon is we take a stand to say, you know what, I'm not going to go through a divorce. I'm going to break the pattern of separation and the negative stuff that I seen growing up, and I'm going to stand and I'm going to be here. I'm just going to have to deal with it. And I'm glad that you guys are engaged, because you also realize the temperament of both of you.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times we get into relationships because of style, because we look good together, because you met them in church, because you met them here, met them there.
Yeah.
But we also have an consider each other's temperament. One of the key things you can do, if anybody's listening to me that's engaged besides our guest LaRon DeLisa, one of the most important things you can do as an engaged couple, even dating, is learn the temperament of the person you're with. See how they act when they get mad. Don't just say I'm getting engaged.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess I could be a hothead in the midst of an argument. You know, I'll push a few buttons. You know, how are you gonna come out of the bag on me, or are you gonna keep it cool?
But you know that problem where people, I was going to say the problem where that happens and you don't find this out is during that dating process. People skip that and they go straight to sex, and when sex is implemented, all those other questions that you need to ask or those flags that you're seeing is going to throw it out the door. And 5 years later, you're trying to figure out who this person is that you with.
Talking to him, but he sure do a good job in the bedroom. I'll stay for that.
Right. Because nowadays, we see a lot of flesh being promoted, kissing, hugging, touching, and so we feel like if we have all that down, then we're good. And I think it's imperative as you guys are engaged and those who are listening that are engaged or even dating, is to really understand to keep yourself before marriage. One thing that you do not want to do is when you label each other before you get married, you're connecting a soul tie. Now, here's the thing. If you're engaged or dating, you don't know if you're going to be together the rest of your life, but you still have soul tie connect. So what happens if that person ends up moving on? You still have that soul connection. Now you have to ask God to break that thing off of you, so that you would be good for your future husband or your wife. Because if that thing is not broken, then you would do them a disservice, and they'll just remind you, or you will want them to remind you of who you used to be with. And so I understand exactly what you guys are saying.
That is basically really what's going on with a lot of people in their little just random sexapades, and
that's dangerous. Sex is an exchange of energy and spirits. You taking in that person's essence, like, their troubles, their drama, their problems, and then you don't know who they are, and you walk away with this inside of you and trying to figure out, why am I mad? Why am I angry? Why am I upset? Why am I hurting in a particular area? Because you done picked up that person's demons and you toting them around with you in your pocket just all willy-nilly.
Come on, if you sleep with a drug dealer, you're not married to, you taking on the spirit of a drug dealer.
Right. Walking around talking about drug money, or buy you what you want, and you trying to figure out, I don't even do drugs.
And I've said this a couple of times in some of our shows, where I wonder how many people would do random sex if the law was, if you were to lay down with someone, you would have to be with them for 5 years. I don't think
they would think
real hard about it. You would still have some people that'll go to jail anyway because how sex is promoted, and I
don't know, 5 years with a demon spirit or a trouble spirit.
You'd be very surprised.
We have a question here before we get ready to wrap up tonight. My wife asked a question.
Okay.
She said, this is for you guys, LaRon DeLisa. She says, what is the biggest thing that you guys are struggling with right
now? What you got? Oh, Lord.
It's our ongoing daily struggle. The third party co-parenting.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
The parents we have an example of.
Yeah.
From our, childhood. The parents we have been in our previous marriages. and the parents we are now in our current situation. We struggle really hard with trying to be on the same page with everybody, making everybody happy for the best interest of the children, regardless of our happiness. You know, because he and I normally can agree to disagree on some things or compromise and come up with a solution that may not be it may not be great for us, but it works for the children. And then trying to integrate the other parties in, and most of the time they're looking at you like, why would I do that? Or it makes it hard for them to say, okay, yes, I'll sit down and talk with you and we'll agree to do that.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. You want to add to that, LaRon?
Nothing. I was just going to say I agree. We're good. Well, when I say we're good is
we talk about it.
Yeah. The best thing that I can say is hands down in this relationship is the fact that we can talk openly. You know, a lot of people look forward to arguments because they feel like that is a point, a anchor of showing that, you know, if we get past this argument, we're great. We don't like arguing.
I don't do arguments.
We left previous relationships saying that's when we got together. We ain't doing no arguing.
Don't scream at me. Don't yell at me.
If
I'm gonna shut down.
If I can't talk to you, I don't need to be in this relationship.
Right.
Gotcha.
So.
Ignore it.
How do you know God put you guys together?
It's my part right here. She don't remember. So, but nah, to try to make this short, I moved back, here in our town back in 2017. I transferred my medication over to her, job. And, for me, it was a presence of God saying, right there, if you do what you need to do, that's it, right there. And I automatically knew, but there was again, you know, I had to go through my little challenges and things.
So you were just recently divorced?
Yeah, I was just recently divorced. She was going through her divorce, and you know, we basically became friends and whatnot. And he was
just a guy coming to pick up his medicine,
and we talked.
I didn't even look at him like that. It just was general conversation.
Yeah, general conversation. And I backed off when she was wanted to try to make it work, but I wasn't pushing either. So, but I definitely backed off, and I was thinking that, you know, maybe I just got that vision only because I thought she was cute, you know, and so I stopped, and I was going through where I was praying and asking God to take me off of some of the medication I was on. I was on like 32 pills 3 times a day. I got down to 2 medications that I take on a regular basis, and I get waking up out of my sleep to God telling me to fill all of my prescriptions. And so here I am, I'm arguing with God because I'm like, we just had this conversation and you taking me off my medication to put me back on, you know, what's really the deal? And okay, so I fill out the thing online. I got my medication. The next day, I go up to her job. Stop laughing, man. I go into the job, man. She's behind the counter, and when she sees me, she runs from behind the counter and she gives me a hug. And yeah, and the thing about it is she don't remember this. And you know, when somebody give you a side hug, you know that's friend. You know, she fully gave me a hug, and you know my mind automatically is like, Okay. Yeah. So it was one of those situations like that, and we basically became business partners first before anything. Because she was in transition.
I was healing.
Healing, and I just so happened to make her some cinnamon rolls. And
kid, I love food.
And
my heart is through my stomach.
And she was going on a date, and her date stood her up, and we end up talking in her car for 45 minutes, and it's like ever since we've been talking ever since. So.
Hey man, Delisa, did he say everything accurately?
I guess so. Again, I don't remember the hug. I probably don't remember a lot of the conversations. I mean, he was a handsome guy when I first saw him, but in my line of profession, I'm looking down his medication list like, oh Lord, what's wrong with him?
I can add something for you guys that are watching, married or getting into a relationship. One of the things that I promote so much is that I go to sleep to wake up to re-love her all over again. For me, I put in my mind that she's a whole nother person, which she is, because she changes every day. We all do. And so for me, that makes it exciting. So that's my job, waking up every morning to re-love her and figure her out all over again.
Wow. What a beautiful story, and from a beautiful couple. Guys, it has been a pleasure and honor to have you guys on tonight.
Thank you.
Ron and Delisa, I wish you guys the best in the future, even as you move on to marriage. And I pray that God would bless you guys and keep you guys forever. I see nothing but great things from you all. You represent Black love. You represent love. Beautiful couple. Thank you for coming on. How can we reach you guys? What's your social media info? How can we reach you guys?
Mr. and Ms. Take Over the World. We're speaking it into existence ahead of time. We're not married yet, but it's coming. On IG.
Mr. and Mrs. Take Over the World.
AND. One word. Mr. and Mrs. Take Over the World.
The podcast is called The Sofa Pillow Talk. So we as a couple have pillow talk on a regular basis because it's necessary for the relationship. And he has a bakery, Treats and Sweets LLC, on IG and Facebook. And I do jewelry and home decor and apparel. The Lady Luxury. And that's on IG and on Facebook. You can even Google all of the above. Treats and Sweets, Lady Luxury Designs, legit black business owners. Yeah, the Sofa Pillow Talk. You can find the podcast on Apple, Google. Or anywhere you listen to your podcast. Yeah, anywhere you. But it's called the Sofa Pillow Talk. We're on our second season, and it's some great information. So so tonight's live will actually be on our podcast. So if you missed anything or have any questions, chime in.
Good. Well, guys, bless you. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having us.
And look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Woo, guys. So that was like almost an hour. It's the longest podcast we have. So it's a bonus, which is a great thing. I enjoy that. That was very fun. And I'm so proud of my baby because this is something that she would normally not do. And she's breaking out of her shell. She's not the caterpillar anymore. She's a wonderful butterfly with so many wonderful colors. I just can't get enough.
Oh, God. What are we going to do with you?
So, but we are going to call it a night, and probably let this drop pretty soon. Do a little description. Not sure if we're going to drop it the same night that we do it. But with that being said, you guys have a great night. Love you.
Bye.